Hello, this is my third update, I believe, in my Python learning journey. So let's talk about it. How's it going? For me, to be honest, it's not going well. The last update I made on this was literally a month ago, where I was gonna use Python and to be honest, in the last 30 days, I feel like I've made probably a 2% increase in my knowledge of Python. Um, I literally don't have a plan. The objective of like learn Python seems a bit daunting. And so I don't feel like I'm learning anything. So, after like many false turns and dead ends, I figured I should just go back to the Bible. Um, the Bible being an introduction to Python programming. Um, I figured, you know, if the language writer writes the manual, I think I should read it. It seems impossibly hard to learn anything in programming because as soon as I've learned it, I forget it. And I know I'm supposed to be doing like projects and things that make it stick, so it's not just like out in literally like I feel like I learned one thing today and then like 3 days later I have no recollection of it. And I don't know if that's the experience for other programmers too. But 2 days ago, today's the 16th of April. 2 days ago was the 20th anniversary of the introduction to Python programming. It came out on the 14th of 2003. So I felt, I celebrated by watching a Monty Python skit um, of deja vu. And it feels like literally feels like deja vu with this Python programming. You're like, you learn something and then you're like, wait, didn't I just learn this like 2 months ago, but I have no recollection whatsoever of this? It's like, it's continuously like, you know, in the skit, in one of the skits of this lady, she gets her milk, right? And she's like getting her milk. And her milkman is like, oh, I'm like a therapist and it's a prank, and so she goes. So like they're going into this like journey um of like ridiculousness where there's a priest, there's like a lady with the typewriter, and it's the most confusing thing, absurdest thing. And that's what like learning Python is. It's this most absurd experience of like deja vu but having no deja vu, and you're like, what? So long story long, I need to finish that book, right? So I figured I need to stop going through all this secondhand channels, right? Go straight to the source of an introduction to Python, sort of figure that out. But I think what I need is like a learning map, right? A roadmap in which I learn like sequentially, because right now it just feels so overwhelming. I figured what I would do is instead of like spending my time like going through YouTube channels after YouTube channel, is just like stick with that book for about 10 days and see what happens. Because right now I have my Visual Studio Code right here. I have the book on one side and the Visual Studio Code, and I'm doing the examples as I go. That seems to be helping a little bit. At least I'm able to type, right? So that's an improvement. But I think I was biting way more than I can chew. So we're gonna like stick to the basics. The basics being like while and for loops, and just trying to understand that and sort of build on that very incrementally. So that's my update in a month. We seem to have somewhat regressed. And another thing I need to realize is like Python is like a lifelong journey. I think in an interview with Lex Friedman and Van Rossum, he was talking about like it's not like how to learn Python in like 2 weeks, it's how to learn Python in 20 years. Sort of knowing that like it takes a lifetime to master this, and it's a very nuanced experience. Like it's a very easy language to sort of learn right? But it's a very hard language to master, and sort of giving yourself grace and being like, this is a lifelong experience and a lifelong journey. Um, and like being patient with yourself in that regards of like, sometimes you forget to remember. But yeah, that's my update. Some things are going well. Roses are like my terminal is working. I can finally get users output. I know what an immutable data is. I know how to concatenate. I know how to add strings. I know how to take out, replace parts of lists. I know how to find length. Um, but like in terms of like a thorn has been like jumping around from resource to resource like craziness. So a fix to that thorn is going to be like having one set of resource and just like focusing on that for a while. Sort of my goal for the next whatever days is just to keep working on the book and focus on that. I hope your journey is going good. um, Godspeed, good luck, you can do this.